Not my mouse.
Okay, okay. Yes, it's moment of solemnity live. Yes, sir. Everything's fluffy. Yeah, we back. Yeah. Yes, I see wonderful people joining me already. Yeah, DBC, I see you. Abdul Ajikopi. Kadomiji. Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Okay, Chuku, I see you. Thank you for joining. Tonight promises to be fun and very informative and packed. I'm speaking with a legend, a musical legend of another legend, a producer, musician, composer, arranger, writer, someone I respect so much. This gross package. Mayor Akinpelu, Mayor Akinpelu. Bamio, good evening, sir. Glad to see you join us for a few. I know you are going to run away very soon to another place. I know. Mayor Akinpelu is the biggest boss. At least they've been talking about journalists with pedigree. And Mayor Akinpelu has always popped up as one of those very few who have consistently changed the game and maintained the game and stayed relevant. In about, Baba, this is more than about 30 years of broadcasting, or if not more than. Mayor, sir, this is about 30 years or more. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest is the legendary R&B Trado, because when we talk Jelenke music, and then his voice is very unique in the whole industry, then, now, and tomorrow. As in, when you hear him, you just like, that's him. I just need for a few more people, my regulars, to join us before I bring him on board. I don't like my regulars missing my introduction for my guest. I didn't really know, but I see you. It's been a very, very rainy few days, and the network has been quite shaky. But I hope tonight we're able to have very good network to have this very wonderful time with Paul Play. Paul Play is an amazing. There's so much I could say about him. And then he's always looking young. Some people are blessed too. If you know Paul Play age, you will not believe that that's the same age with the face you're going to see. I see you, Megastar Niyi. You're an amazing person. I don't know. Do you have a notification that just tells you Kofi? Okay, well, the notice has been out since morning, so you would have timed yourself, say 8 p.m. on the dot. So when I was a kid, one of the records that my dad would play at home was those of IKDAIRO. From the Ondo side, the music, and then, the dance, Palongo dance. Yes, my dad used to dance Palongo dance and would say it was them Paul Play and them IKDAIRO that, so he used to teach us the Palongo dance then, our Palongo dance. So I didn't know that the son was going to come and take the music to another level. I see you, Bubbles. I see you, Princess Punk. I see you, FMC LNG. So when Paul Play now took the music to the next level, he brought hip hop into ethnic sound. At that time, nobody had been able to do it like that. Now the father used to play accordion, but with the keyboard, he just took it from that generation to the next generation, and he just took all of us along with him. With a lot of other rappers, Rough, Rugged, and Raw, and a couple of other young heads, then Paul Play was like the foundation on which all of them were riding, and he stayed consistent back to back. Then Hitsville album, when that Hitsville album came out, hey, Playground Entertainment, Oh, I wish I brought the CD out here to show you people. That album is a classic that everybody should have. Now that we're all online and we're just grabbing music from platforms like iTunes, Spotify, and you should just go. I'm sure he has it somewhere online. You should just go and download that album. Classic, evergreen sound. If they are doing new productions today, those sounds will still sit here. And good enough, Poplay now decided to do one of the greatest hit songs ever by any Nigerian artist, Angel of My Life. He now did a remake with Runtown. Oh more. If I never hear Gbedu, more I go hear Gbedu. This one will be say at the run mouth. This is a legend that constantly redefines music, as in over and over and over. He has done it successfully well. I know he can rap too. And then when it comes to live music, as in bandstand music, Poplay is the only person I know sings effortlessly. He doesn't shout, he doesn't scream, and then the music is going. Like say, ladies and gentlemen, please let me invite gentleman musician, cool, as in very cool, calm, collected guy. You know, how do you manage to stay cool in this same Nigeria? In this same Nigeria, like say problem no day, Baba.
No go see problem.
Amen. Oh.
Problem no be our friend. No problem at all.
As in, when I posted your picture and somebody said, Poplay don't they carry dada? I said, actually, when I saw the picture, I first thought maybe it was an older picture because we still saw last year and I didn't see this dada. So I was not calculating how many months dada take they grow. Ochumelo dada si asare who? Is it the lockdown that caused the dada? Or how did dada just? But it looks very cute, though. It looks very fine. Looks very fine.
It's genetically modified.
Genetically modified. Oh, boss, how are you doing? How are you doing? How's everyone? How's the family?
Good to have you. I've been listening to all these accolades, man.
Yeah, but for me, they are not just Baba. Baba, they are not accolades. They are facts. I was quoting facts. Not accolades.
I'm a small boy in the ministry.
Amen. We're all small. Amen. We're all small. The first question everybody was asking me when I was sharing this info on WhatsApp was, Poplay, where has he been? And I'm like, okay, come tonight and hear it from him yourself. So join us tonight and hear it from him. So where has Poplay been? I know where you've been. I know. But I'm not going to talk to you like I'm your friend.
I can
find my baby.
Yeah, I've been around the world. Yeah, I took this. Some people will say that I decided to stay away from the mainstream music industry, but basically the core practice, which is the performance aspect of the business, is still very much alive over the years. So I did not take a leave totally. I was still doing the performances, birthdays, and what have you. So even people have been asking, where's Poplay? A couple of years ago, a year before the last one, I think December, we had 2 shows for Grown and Sexy. So I was in Lagos now, so I don't know. Maybe they didn't put on their TV to see that we had 2 shows. And I've been doing so much in the party circles and stuff, which is, and for personal reasons, I decided to stay away from the mainstream music industry. I decided to just chill, do other things, and
other money making things.
My life.
Other money making things.
Live my life peacefully. Stay away from the tabloids and the news and the paparazzi stuff and all that. But
Maybe people will not like that one. You're staying away from their source of
Is Baba in the house?
Baba is
Respect to
here.
Baba.
Baba is there. Yinkis, I see you. Femi
Respect
Julo.
to
Baba is there.
Twalisa. Respect to Baba. Those are the people
I
that actually.
sincerely,
Those are the people that actually put us out there. When there was no influencers,
yeah,
no Instagram, no, those were the days of weekly, tabloid newspapers and magazines and stuff. So
yeah,
PM
yeah,
News, the PM News of those days, and the
yeah.
and the celebrity, Abi. Ah, So,
Yeah.
Twali Baba, much respect to. Hope you're keeping
Yes,
safe.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mayor sir, they are expecting you to reply, Baba. So, boss, I know you've been busy, you've been working behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know that you're a very, very powerful producer, and I'm very sure you've been doing a lot of commercial underground stuff. There was a time you were one of the go-to people for jingles and
Yeah,
corporate circle productions that people don't normally know about. So I'm very sure, I know you are making money quietly. And then, like you mentioned, you came to a hotel for um, gold and sexy, but to them it seems like now I noticed that if you're not constantly in social media space, as far as they're concerned, you don't exist. And they've forgotten that.
yeah. For somebody like me, a lot of people know that. A lot of people know that I'm actually a shy person, and with the social media, especially Twitter, I'm just like dinosaur with that one because you know how to go on the page, saying things and for me. But with Instagram, you can just take pictures now, chat, 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 and stay there. That's fine. With Facebook, yeah, it's cool. But Twitter seems to be like the real dynamic, platform for everybody. So, it's unfortunately, I wasn't really that present on Twitter. But I'm just getting there. I'm trying to now get used to the idea of somebody said I should jump on TikTok. I said, okay, what will I be doing? I jump on TikTok. I said, okay, well, whatever it is, let's see what we can do because yeah, it's quite interesting that music industry has moved on to other things, moved on to different platforms, which is totally different from what we used to have back then. Um, Back then, when you release a song, it would take like between 6 to 8 months before now you can, that music circulates around Nigeria before you can hear it everywhere. But now, if you drop a song right now, it's going to. When I dropped that song with Runtown, a DJ called me from Dubai, so you can know that day that that song dropped. I got, I got a call. I got a show in the US that same week.
Wow.
So you should know the kind
Wow.
of money that these broadcasts are making. So,
Yes,
but it's
sir.
all
Yes, sir.
good. Yeah. So it's a different platform. It's a different um era. So we just have to get used to it, understand it, and enjoy everything with them. The remaining one we will not collect that time. We shook head, collect, collect with them. Mhm.
For real, for real, for real. So, boss, how has this period been for you, this COVIDo era? I hope,
The video.
COVIDo era.
COVID 19. Yeah. What happened? Well, I decided to stay home because I had a surgery in 2009. So it wasn't really like something that I should take for granted. I stopped walking on the street like it never it wasn't real. I knew that this was real as far back as because I was always in touch. When you are going older or when you are old, when you are old, when person don't old, you watch a whole lot of you need information. So I actually every morning I'm on CNN. So I quickly saw that things were not going right. I found out that this disease was, I wanted to travel, but I just had this feeling that these COVID 19 was getting to Nigeria before. and I'm able to get myself out of this place. Well, so when it came, I just had to stay. I stayed in the house religiously because any small thing, hey,
It's all
wow.
over. Final whistle.
Because I had a surgery, so I just put myself as one. I actually, consider myself as one of those people who are, vulnerable. So I decided to stay indoors. Before that same week that I heard I was in Nigeria, I drove out straight to the pharmacy, bought sanitizer, a pack of sanitizer for my staff, everything, pack everything, do, and face mask. It was crazy, man. But that thing is real. Someone that's very close
Yeah.
to me, the person was actually admitted here in Abuja, and for some reasons he didn't make it. So
Wow. So sorry. So
that
sorry.
that that's
So sorry.
that's but that actually was like a wake up call for everyone. That this thing is real. There's a lot of things that are with it. People say that if somebody was talking about your blood group. If your blood group is between, if you're negative, you're positive, O positive or negative, inhibitors or whatever. A lot of dynamics into this thing. A lot of theories and counter theories and hypotheses and stuff. So I just said, look, I don't want to know what any of these things. So I stayed home for the whole month. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die.
But nobody wants
So
to die, oh, Baba.
nobody wants to
Nobody
die.
wants
So
to die.
yeah, but so far, but I actually, because my company, we decided to, distribute some palliatives for the disabled in some areas in Abuja, then some less privileged people. So that was the time I had to now come out, just, muster some courage and,
God bless you. God bless you.
yeah,
God bless you.
go out
God bless
and help people. And it was fun. It was exciting. It was fun. Although I was being very careful, but it was at one point tears. I was tearing up, and
you.
I just kind of look at this country and said, man, there's still a whole lot of work for us to do.
A
It's
lot.
it's really it's really tough. I'm sorry to say this on social media, but it's really tough being a Nigerian
It is.
for so many people.
It
It's
is. It
really,
is.
really, really tough.
It is. It is. But we always survive. We're Nigerians. We always survive. We always find a way around
Yeah,
it.
I always survive.
No be us.
Actually, yeah, no be us, but I'm very, very worried because we might just be approaching a moment where we start having some kind of implosion.
True.
You know what I mean by
Fact.
implosion is when you wake up in the morning, you get in your own SUV and you drive out, you're looking all freshed up, and you pass somebody who has not eaten for the past 2 days. And hunger. Hunger can make you do things that you can never imagine doing. So the next time you're gonna pass one morning, you find out that guy already had maybe a pistol or a knife, and he's gonna attack you because they cannot attack the government that is actually not responding to his needs. So the next person who has whatever he can get to move ahead to actually at least sustain himself is going to attack that person. That's what I mean by implosion.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should be
True.
very careful.
True.
You
True.
know that
That's true.
that that seems to be what's it's very scary for me right now.
That's very true. Unfortunately, most of our politicians don't say it. We keep saying these things, but they're not listening. And I'm glad that you're saying that as well. You don't need to apologize for saying it on social media. A fact is a
Yeah,
fact.
because sometimes we our celebrity, we the celebrities, the so-called celebrities, we seem not to be very, I don't know, we seem not to care as much as we should care. I know we're trying to save our, our source of income of our maybe we want to keep having food on our table, so we don't want to
Our
step on
our
anybody's toes.
our bridges. We want to maintain our bridges.
Yeah, we don't want to step on anybody's toes, so we're not really vocal enough. So we don't want to come out and say the way it is, so that we won't hurt one or two people who actually be pushing money into our pocket or actually sending us alerts, and all that. But yeah, it's just messy anyway. But we keep trying the little that we can see. But I just want to say that everybody should just chip in one or two things, and it's really tough being a Nigerian, honestly,
Yeah.
because what I saw in the
So
past 2 weeks that I saw on the street of Abuja, God, I was just
it's painful. Yeah.
a
Cars
country that
beat.
has a country that has so much.
Yet nothing is coming out
Let's
of it. Baba, do
let's
you
just
know
be happy
cars?
with now we
Do you know cars beat?
Cars beat. Yes, it's based in London, right?
Yeah. That's him right there.
Cars beat. Omo Yoruba ni mi o swagger. Is that not?
Similar, babe. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
cars
yeah.
beat.
I
That's
met him.
cars
I
beat.
met him once. I did a show here in Abuja. I think I met him once. He was also on that show. He was on the bill. The video too was on the bill.
Yeah.
I
So
think it
he's right here
was
with us.
ketchup. There's this restaurant in Abuja, ketchup, and they normally have their stuff every year. So I think that was when we met. Yeah,
Yeah. Test. I see you
that
test.
was that was that was a banger. That song was high in the
Classic.
club.
Classic.
It was
Classic
that song was
tune, man.
crazy. That jam was crazy. I was wondering that where
Sorry, Cass, I'm saying this. Don't feel offended. That song was bigger than Cass when it came out.
that song was mad. Though.
It
Clubs,
was bigger, as
Lagos,
in
London,
Cass could not
yes,
cope. Cass could not
everywhere.
cope. He could not cope. Ah, orin yẹn tóbi.
It was
Kò
bad.
lè
That
dé
song was
gbogbo ibi tó
bad.
yẹ kó lọ pẹ̀lú orin yẹn. He couldn't go to everywhere.
But it was bad. It
The
was
song
bad.
caught him unawares. It caught him unawares.
It
Cass,
was a
sorry.
mad. It was a mad.
Another one will come for you, and I know you are prepared this time.
Amen.
So, Baba, I'm getting soft now. We've gone through all the serious part. I don't like discussing politicians. They are wahala too much.
No,
If you were
I'm just
not,
talking about. I'm talking about Nigerians anyway. I'm not really.
if you were not Nigerian right now, where would you rather come from?
When I was very young, yeah, I was in school. It was in nursery school. I used to just, I don't know. See, there's this saying that there's a place where your soul. I'm sure you must have seen that when you experienced it. When you go out or go to a place, maybe like Ibadan, or you go to Oyo State, or you go to London, or there's a place where your soul feels like staying. Your soul thrives there. Your soul is very happy there. You just have this kind of feeling that you are, there's this kind of bliss that comes with it. So when I
Yeah,
was very, very young, I
yeah.
had this. She wasn't my girlfriend. She was like classmate. She's white. Christine. That's her name. I can still remember her name. So she made me so much get so much interested in because she's actually British. So I used to scribble England, London on my all my textbooks. England, London, England, London. So the first time I ever stepped, my soul just, I just felt that calmness. So late, like a couple of weeks ago, I was reading that I was thinking about, so much stuff about spirituality and all that, that there's a place where your soul actually wants to be.
Wow.
Yeah. That where you are, you know, where your soul wants to be, when you're actually where your soul wants to be, it's bliss. It's magical. Things begin to
So
open up for you. And that has,
England, Abby,
yeah.
England.
England, yes.
Two places work for me like that too. Two places, England and Ijebu. Those are the two places. Ijebu,
I don't
England.
even go to my hometown. That one doesn't work for me. Mba.
Ijebu works for me.
Uh,
And then
I,
England. I don't like Yankee, but England, London. Hey, when I enter
I
London, I
and I
could be in
like
London three
Abuja.
weeks. You wouldn't know.
I like Abuja as well. I like Abuja.
Abuja is.
That's why I
That's why
want
you
to
moved to Abuja now.
Yeah, because it was close to. But actually, I like Lagos. I like Lagos for one thing.
It was close to what?
I like Lagos for one thing. Eh?
It was close to what? It was close. For
I like
play.
I
It
like Lagos
Abuja
for
because
one
it was
thing.
close to what?
It's close to Baba now. It's close to Baba. I like Lagos for one thing. Yeah, I like Lagos
Okay.
because of the beach, because of the ocean. I always, there's this kind of, you know, attraction. There's this kind of feeling. When you're actually near the water, I'm not a water spirit, too. I just there's this kind of feeling that you just near the ocean. Sometimes I go there, just meditate, sit down, and when I go with my friends, I just sit down,
Now I
just
understand. Now I
just
understand why your
appreciate God.
music is the way it is. I now
Yeah,
understand
just
why your music is the way it is. I
yeah.
now understand why. The things you are saying, they inform the kind of music you make.
Sometimes when you sit down beside the beach, you just be looking
Mm.
and say, there must be a God somewhere. Because you just marvel at, the, how, gigantic that's,
Space is, I'm
you'll be
marvelous,
looking at the
marvelous.
horizon,
Yeah,
you'll be seeing all these fishermen going far.
far away.
Who created this thing? Somebody created this thing. I need to sit down here so I'll be praying. So I don't remember why these cherubim and seraphim people, why they go to that beach to go and pray. That's it's deep.
Yeah.
So I love
Okay.
Lagos because I love Lagos. I love Abuja. I love the UK so much.
Yeah. Nah. Okay. Thank you, Felix Stills. You said Kofi's haircut is very nice. Thank you. He's the only one who has commended my haircut since how many
Oh,
days
your
now?
haircut is very nice. It's very
Thank you,
nice.
Baba. Thank you, Baba. Shame on all the other people who didn't commend my haircut. Baba, mosquito or fly? Which one annoys you the most? Mosquito or fly? Which one?
Almost nobody, no win now.
Mosquito
Both
or
of
fly?
them,
No.
both of them, 1-1 draw. I can't stand any of them. Like with flies, you can still keep them away. You can, shut your doors and keep your house clean. But with mosquitoes, especially Lagos mosquitoes, kai, Ikeja mosquitoes. I live in
He
Ikeja.
can't just, you
Ikeja
say you can't get
mosquitoes.
mosquito. Oh, he can't.
Use 100 bacon, they will still fly and still come and bite you, and you still get malaria. Malaria is one of my biggest Achilles heel. Malaria.
Okay, let's be specific. Joel Ogunaike mosquitoes, Abi.
Not Jologunaki now, Omoli mosquitoes.
Almost okay.
Omolian mosquitoes.
Ọmọlé mosquito. Ẹyin tó mọ́lé ẹrógò lọ́wọ́ pọ̀ play.
No, the worst mosquito in Lagos is Mushi mosquito.
Mushi
What I
mosquito.
went to show in Mushi.
I think you should be listening
Those
to
ones
this thing.
there, it's like if they bite you, you think that no, forget Lagos.
Mushi mosquito.
Mushi mosquito. Kai. It's like if they put pin, they give pin for your skin. Like if they put skin for your pin.
Casbit is giving props to your song forever. Now, somebody said that Poplay must sing this night. I said I'll get to that part. Don't worry, you will sing.
Okay.
Books or movies? Which one works best for you? Books or movies? What makes it happen for you? Books or movies?
I love movies, man. I don't know. I'm almost, what do they call that? Is it dyslexic or what do they call it?
Oh,
When
that's
somebody
like
cannot read. I was almost that thing. because I decided to choose science because when you have something like government, literature, and religious knowledge, and pros and pro, what's
Poetry and
that?
prose.
Poetry
Poetry
and
and
pro,
prose.
what's all those things? Just no. Government, history. Come on, man. I couldn't read all those things. I said, okay, I will pick science. The lesser evil. Let me go for the lesser evil. So, like for me, I like to watch more than read. But I read once in a while. I like to watch more than read. I read when it comes to if I'm actually like I'm a freak for information and for knowledge. So it's when I need that knowledge. I need something. I need to know about that thing. I actually go for it, and
Okay.
I
So which
seek knowledge.
movie?
But I prefer movies anyway.
Okay, which one have you seen that you can watch over and over again? What movie have you seen that you can watch over and over and over again
Then
without getting
plenty.
tired?
Then
Okay.
plenty.
Okay.
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Um,
Nice.
Usual Suspects.
Nice.
What's the other one? Game of Thrones. God.
Yeah. I was about to ask you something on that level though. That
Okay.
uh Power, Game of Thrones, or Empire, which one do you prefer?
Power. No, Game of Thrones, man. Game of Thrones.
Well,
Classic.
you've already said Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones has both of them. It has Empire and Power. So
Empire. I really didn't enjoy Empire because Empire was like something. It's like you talking about me. It's like something that I do every day. So it wasn't much of you know. Everybody else was crazy about Empire, but I was like, oh, this is what I see every day. So I go. I live this thing. I live it. So why do I need to sit down? It's like telling Amokachi or telling to be watching
JJ.
football. To be watching football and watching football. That is their football now. Those people, AJ is football. So. But it was interesting. It was cool. I'm happy for the fact that that was an African American series that actually went viral and was all over the world. So I'm actually happy that Empire was a big stuff. So
Okay, so if I give you an a cappella moment right now, which song by this new crop of guys is really coming to your head that is really working for you lately? You just hear it and like, man, this is a jam. Which song is it presently and that you can sing?
I cannot sing it too because one thing about me is that I'm a melody person.
Okay.
But I think I like this song by Fireboy. Because the song is always ringing in my head.
Okay.
Carry me the good, carry me the good,
It actually sounds like your melody. It sounds like your melody.
carry me the good, carry me
Yeah. Fire.
shady in the enter body, something like that. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Nice. Okay, nice. So now the question takes me to your own music.
Okay.
What made you? Because I know you were doing some kind of music before. One day you woke up and said, this is my papa's song. If I revamp it, it will work. Because you were with some guys that were doing hip hop, R&B. So for you to now switch to ethnic music and then say, okay, let me bring
Well,
it and you just tried it and it worked. What pushed you to Moshorire from a singing English to Moshorire? How did you just take that
yeah,
risk?
one of my colleagues back then, her name is Remy Jackson. Tunde and Wumi Obe, we used to hang out then. Tunde and Wumi Obe, too, we used to hang out. Edmund Spice, Michael Cree. Then we were just coming up. My cousin, my brother, and I, we actually member of a group. We're giving exposure back then at Night Shift Nightclub. We used to perform with Tunde and Wumi, with Michael Cree, with Sonny Neji. So
Yinka Davis.
Yinka Davis, yeah. So it was Yeah, it was kind of, it was, we were excited because that was where I actually gained some experience when it comes to performance, you know. But I actually felt that we were not given a chance because the music was basically R&B music, and people will come and say, "Your music is too foreign. Your music is too foreign.
Yeah,
Why don't you
pop,
do
pop,
something?
pop.
Why
Yeah,
don't
it
you do
was pop.
Nigerian music? Why don't you do
It was
something that is
pop.
your father is a musician was something like that? Why don't you?" I said, no, because I was actually raised, with pop music, jazz. My brothers were piling up albums back then, jazz albums, R&B albums, pop albums. We had likes of Lakeside, Chalama, Temptations, Stevie Wonder, Lionel Richie, Commodores, with so much. My father one time packed all the albums and threw it away. Watch this. So it was actually, that was, but along the line, I started producing. I started producing some cats in Nigeria, Lagos. Then Pestac Town was hot with rap music, and Nelson Brown was hot right there. Was a badass producer back then. But Kalu, badass producer. Samuel Pozo, those were the big boys. OJB and myself were just like small cats that were just coming up and were just trying to do our thing back then. Yeah, so after one production, there's this friend of mine, not like, we used to work together in the studio. He comes to the studio once in a while to work, and now just called me after my session, he called me and said, "Paul, you need to do something about your father's music." I said, "Which father's music?" I really don't know anything about my father's music. My father never sat me down to say, "Oh, yeah, Bushima, play it." Bang, 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 bang. No, never. He never did that. So how am I going to do it? I don't even know how to play the accordion. My father was playing accordion, talking drum, guitar,
Wow.
akuba drums. In fact, and his vocal range, he should me now.
Ah, as in,
I'm
ah,
not, so it's like this guy
ah,
just want to kill person.
ah,
This guy
that
wants to
that
kill somebody.
that
I said, no,
vocal
no, 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 no,
range.
no. I'd rather stick with my R&B music and pop music. I said, no, 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 no. Paul, you should think about it. Think about doing this thing. I'm really, and some years after the release of Bushiri, actually the guy actually moved to Calabar, and we spent some hours talking about how he actually convinced me. I'm still so grateful to the guy because I really don't know, because Majority is still the biggest song ever,
Yes,
as far as
yes,
Nigeria is concerned. Now,
yes.
what happened was I now decided to record this song, and then I was working with Shell. Um, so when I was working with Shell, I leave work say like 6, very late. So what I did was when I'm out of work, I just go straight to the studio. Now, guess where I recorded Moshiri Ray? I recorded Moshiri Ray in Chief Ebenezer Obey's studio in Ikeja.
Wow.
Yeah.
Off Awolowo way.
No, sorry, Agege side. That Agege
Okay, I
kind of
agree. Okay, okay,
yeah, towards
okay.
Yanapaja side. So guess who mixed it and recorded it, and was the studio engineer, Tokwe Alabi's husband. I'm
Wait,
telling
I
you.
thought you were the one that even produced it yourself.
No, I produced it. He was the sound engineer.
Okay,
He did the sound
okay, okay,
engineering.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
he did sound engineering and mixed it. So I did under 4 hours. I just was okay, let me just make this guy happy. Let me just do it. So I just went to studio 4 hours. I went to studio. Tonero, God
Yeah.
bless his soul, was with me then. So
Tony has passed. I didn't know.
Tony passed. How many years ago?
I
Tony passed in 2009.
I didn't know. I've never heard. I'm so
Oh,
sorry. I never heard. I've been looking for him.
wow. Tony passed. Hey, I got in that Lagos. Tony passed now.
I didn't hear.
It was it
See,
was
that's
it
one of
was it was
our
sad.
people that was,
It
I didn't
was
know.
really really sad. Tony passed. So Tony was always with me then. I told so Tony said, no, let's do this thing. So I did it, recorded it, got everybody with me, and let me now shock you. Moshiri was recorded in 1996. It was released in 1999. I had recorded Moshiri before I joined Kenny's Music.
Ah,
Yeah,
3 years later.
3 years. When after recording it, I now said, okay, let me just give this music a try. Let me take it to my father's friend, who was who was actually working with him back then. I think my father was the chairman of the organization where they were together, they were doing stuff together. So I told the guys, everybody, I better get.
Oh,
Everybody, I better get. You were now. But you can call me. So I was like, it's true. This thing I don't know how to do. They don't have to force me to do it. So I got discouraged. The second person that listened to it said, well, it didn't feel the same. So I just threw it away in the locker for 3 years. So
there's a big lesson here for everybody listening right now.
so I was so discouraged because I said, okay, well, this is really not me though. This is not what I like to do. I like to do R&B. Then I had slang with me. So we were actually members of Decline. Our group was Decline then. So I was like, man, let me just keep doing my hip stuff, let me keep doing my R&B stuff and all that. So I joined I joined after I was still with Slam, but I came to Abuja back then and I joined a gospel group called Pure Heart Impression. Now, Pure Heart Impression was just a group of young guys who actually were on fire for Jesus, and they were just going about for nothing, doing ministrations. We just go about.
Meanwhile, your breakthrough was already in the locker back at home.
Yes,
Hey,
my God.
Jesus.
So I would come to Abuja, we would go out, go to Jos, go around Abuja, go to churches and just perform. It was fun because we enjoyed it. We had, a mentor who was actually, was the sponsor of the group. So it was when we come together from university, people come from, all over the place. There were 9 members. So we just come together and just have fun. So we released an album, and I was meant to help with the promotion in Lagos. So I came back to Lagos, and I had already done something with Tony Tequila. So I already had a leg in, to meet Kenny's Music and meet Mr. Kenny Ogunbide. So I went to him in his office. It was actually when I got to his office, he was in the studio. I joined him in the studio. So I joined him, and he was like, well, he listened to the album that we did with Pure Heart Impression, and he was like, yeah, it's okay. Paul, don't you have anything that you've done for yourself? Because I was always production.
Keke.
So
That man they see. That man they see.
I said, yeah, like producers those days, we used to have this bag that looks like I like John. That's collection bag. It's full of CD, pack CD, CD. Or production. If you lose any artist CD, you're in trouble. You carry all the CD, you're going to CD. So in case your artist begin to ask for your CD that this one I CD that I gave you last 2 weeks, you don't want to get into trouble. So I had everything with me. So fortunately that day I had the Mushuriri for just one reason I don't understand. I just had that CD with me. So I said, let me check my bag. I didn't know when I actually, put that CD in my bag. So I just brought it out. I said, let me check.
Now that spirit at the beach, that celestial spirit from the beach.
Yes, this is what I mean. So now so I brought it out, I gave it to him. I said, this one, I just reluctantly, I just said, okay, let me just so that this man will get off my back. You understand? So I just give it to him. It's like, oh, okay. What's the title of this one? Hashem Moshoriri. Said I would love to listen to it. He just slotted it and started playing. Normally in the studio, first of all, when you're on air, you just put the stuff and your headphones. He was listening to it from another phone just to, and then he was bopping his head. It was like, I said, I heard that people buy like when you immediately when they like it. Just removed it and said, Paul, this is wonder. This is good music. I said, they like it. It's good music. He just turned around, pushed out the tray for the on-air system, slotted it. Now I just want to say, this is Paul IKDAIRO fresh.
Marketer ni bàbá yẹn náà. Marketer ni kẹ̀kẹ́.
That was. I didn't ask him to give me Paul IKDAIRO. I don't know where the man got. I said, you're Paul playing. I said, no, Paul, you use Paul IKDAIRO. This is what you use. So that's how, that song. If I want to go back with Mosherere, I actually took Mosherere to Sony Music back then. Sony Music listened to it and they were not interested. They were asking for my father's music. I took it to one marketer. This woman was like the biggest marketer in Western region. So the marketing manager of Sony Music really liked the song, right? But the executive didn't like it. So the man was very, was still pushing me. Paul, come on Tuesday, I will go. We'll go. We're just going around with the CD. Now, some people feel that because you're IKDAIRO song, it was easy for you. And when people say that thing, I just look at them and I just shake my head.
They don't, these things, I didn't know it. I'm your friend. I'm just hearing it for the first time.
It's very easy for you. That should be easy for you. I know IKDAIRO song. Many days I stood in front of Tambasi. I sent CDs to Tambasi Records in Ikeja, and that's Ikeja. I always get, sorry, your music. Well, we like your music, but it has not met the standards that we need right now. People don't understand that. They feel because you're IKDAIRO song, you get it you just go straight and you get it smoothly. No. So we went to this woman. The woman was so busy, she didn't have time for me. She just said, why next year? We'll come next year. Maybe we'll work with you, stuff like that. I said, I wasn't really bothered, honestly. So until this happened, after playing that stuff, calls started coming in. Then Baba turned to me and said, what that poor show my sign again this music. That's how I got signed on Kenny's music.
Wow.
And so I called Slam. I said, Slam, man, I'm signed on Kenny's music. I was a member of Oxygen.
Yeah.
So I had to leave Oxygen because Oxygen already had issues. Because Oxygen was actually supposed to be one of the biggest group in Nigeria, if not the biggest group in Nigeria, because we had a deal with a company that's based in the Netherlands. Well, somehow, when it was money, when issues about, discussion about money and all that, the whole thing didn't sail through. So I got upset. So I left. And I told Slam, I said, Slam, I'm going. I told Swave as well, buy a day free. I said, guy, I'm going. So that's how I moved. So Slam came with me. Tony, all of them, Tony and Slam came with me to Kenny. I follow you. You don't Tony. I will follow you. For play. Tony so much believed in me.
It's obvious. It's obvious. I remember when I came to your house in Ajawo Estate now. I remember when I came to your house in Ajawo Estate. Yeah.
Tony so much believed in me. So Tony was just following me everywhere. So when I actually took some money for the album recording. But I'll tell you today that Baba Keke gave me money for the recording. I've been recording since now. So I already had like 2 albums. So I just carried the money. We just went down, painted the town red. We're going to Murphy's Club. We go for Murphy's. We go to club in Ikeja. Go to night shift. We're driving around with the money. I'm sure if he hears this one right now, he will like, this boy.
Ó ti gbá mi.
So, so we were just recording. Yeah, we're still recording, but not that we were recording because we already had the album. I already had the album, so it was like So
Oh,
yeah, so that was how Oshorere came up and area party can scatter. It was quite some beautiful experience.
thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. I need a minute to stop this video and invite you back again so that Instagram doesn't cut us off, so I can save it.
Okay, all
Then
right,
just give me a minute to save this one.
no problem.
Oh, this is awesome, awesome, awesome.